Hey guys, Dave Jr. with Wellbuilt Equipment. Don't forget to check us out on the web at wellbuiltequipment.com. Follow us on Facebook at Area Lift Repairs. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and comment in the comment section down below. Today we're coming to you guys from our lift warehouse once again, showing you one of the newest additions to our rental fleet, the Palazanni TZX 730 from Spimerica. This machine is awesome, lightweight machine, comes in at 39 inches wide, a little over 5,500 pounds, so by far the lightest machine in its class by over 1,000 pounds. Lots of side reach still with a very small outrigger footprint. It's going to get your hands to about 39 foot of side reach according to the spec sheet, and we'll show you guys what that's like in the basket later on. So start on this side of the machine here, show you guys the lower controls, and then we'll open it up so you can see the inside. Spare remote control battery for the wireless remote is charged inside of the lower controls. You can see everything's nice and clean, goes to Wago blocks, everything's in a cable raceway. Really looks like they put some time and effort into making sure everything's nice and clean and easy to work on, God forbid something is broken. So I'll close that back up. And then the cool thing about the Spimerica machines, they just have a really tight swing on the outriggers, so if you're in a confined working area and you don't have a lot of space to maybe swing an outrigger all the way around or out, really small, that's it. Outrigger swung out in the wide position. Super fast, bang, 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 go around the machine, swing them out, put them in the position you need. In narrow, you can still rotate all the way back around on this machine. You won't be able to extend until you're back within the outriggers. So no ping pong paddling in between the outriggers on this machine. Drive in either direction. If you got to set it up in narrow, rotate it around, you can still work above the machine, just as if the basket was the other way. Then we got our light and warning system on here, and then inside here is also where the computer diagnostics is that throws any error codes should you have any problems. And then that toggle switch you see there, that's your basket rotate when you're using the wireless remote. Without that switch there, you wouldn't be able to rotate the basket back and forth outside of the platform. Up on the side of the turret here, that's where your air and water line connects. Runs up to the basket, gives you a connection for either hooking up a pressure washer or air compressor to that, instead of having a hose or air line dangerous and hanging open. So we'll swing out the outrigger here. Come up to our basket. We got our wireless remote in there. Nice little compact remote, comes with a belt. It can run all the aerial functions, including being able to raise the boom arms slightly, as well as suck it in if for some reason it extends out during transport. So that gives you a little bit of extra ground clearance underneath the machine down here when you're approaching a slope. If you need to, you can raise that up just a little bit, and we'll show you guys that. Give you that little bit extra clearance. It's already a really short wheelbase overall on this machine, under 16 foot long. It's just 15 foot 5 inches to the edge of the basket on this thing. So in tight areas inside of buildings, this thing's great. So I'll show you guys the wireless remote, and again we'll put on the chest harness and show you how it operates later. Pretty simple, real easy. Nice big levers for every one of the functions on here. Automatic leveling outriggers with one lever, or you can put it into manual, lower and raise them individually. So then we have a two-man basket on this machine, and it's rotating basket. It is available with a one-man basket as well, depending on what you're going to be using it for. Comes standard with a swing gate, no sliding bar. This is your power for your deck power. That allows you to plug in a cord down below and then get power up in the basket without having to hang a cord below. And then there's where your air water line comes up to the basket right by the toe board. Two lanyard locations on the outboard side of the machine. So if you do have two guys in the basket, underneath that 440 pound capacity, allows you to easily connect each other's harness without fighting for room in the middle. Then this one has our clear dome on it. Protects the controls and kind of keeps some of the stuff out of there. Of course, sawdust gets everywhere if you're in the tree industry, paint gets everywhere if you're in the painting industry. We'll show you guys that later. Pretty cool, nice proportional controls. This has the stock plastic foot pedal on it. We have an aftermarket one we made that's made of steel. fits a much larger boot if needed. So let us know if you need that on your machine. And then the tree climber's friend, there's a clean out hole on the side of the basket. So for all you guys who want to make excuses about not sweeping your chips off of the deck, flip the thing open, sweep your chips out of the deck. Then come onto this side, you can see the remote's removable. Disconnect the harnessing down, and that's how you can take the basket off if you need to go through a narrow door. From what we can tell, you can take the basket and leave pretty much all this connected and just turn it sideways and set it on there and drive the machine through the door if you need to. So go ahead and swing it out here. Not much on this side in terms of functional items, but you can get a really good view of just the quality that goes into the machine. Again, they're aluminum boom arm sections, but you can see they're a lot larger and a lot more robust than the competing models out there if they have aluminum boom arms. Then opposite the basket end over here, inside our covers, we got our 2-cylinder Kubota engine. Our machine is also equipped with a 110 motor. You can run off the wall, plug it in, run your aerial functions. It'll level the machine, drive the machine. You're going to see reduced function speed quite a bit, just like any spider lift. 60–70% I'd say below what you're going to get full speed, especially drive. Drive is the slowest thing on electric by far. Then back of the machine, again, just want to show you guys, everything's got nice thick covers on it. You know, ideally you never want to impact your machine into anything, but it is there. Nice thick cover on the back of the boom arm. And then there's a cool thing, they solved a nuisance problem ahead of time. We didn't ask for this, but the Palazanni has this cutout on the pin, and that's to allow grease penetration on that one because that one sees the most range of movement. So that keeps that main pin from squeaking, which is a problem we see on a lot of equipment. All right, so let me grab the remote. Let's turn this thing on. Go through the startup procedure with you guys for the machine. All right, so we always store every machine with the battery disconnect off. So I'm gonna turn that on first. See, we got our labels on here, so it's nice and easy to read. Make sure your emergency stops are out. Go ahead and turn the key on to the start. See your gauges come on for your fuel. In winter, you'd have a glow plug turn on, so you're gonna wanna wait until after that to start the machine. And we can go down here if you look closely. This is your 3-position selector for functions. To the left-hand side here, that's going to give you boom functions on the wireless remote. Center is going to give you your track functions on the wireless remote. To the right is going to give you outrigger functions on your wireless remote. Then up here, this switch for manual and automatic, when you're in the outrigger position with the key to the right, selects whether you want to operate the outriggers individually or all together. So I'm going to put that to auto. You can just leave it at auto, you don't have to change it. And then when we go to the basket, once the machine's leveled, flipping the key to the center puts the machine into controls for the upper controls that are mounted up there with all the joysticks. So let's go ahead and fire it up. Key on the side of the remote. This is our rental machine, so we have an aircraft cabled on. Twist out the red E-stop in the middle of the machine. It's a twist out, make sure it pops up slightly. And push the connect button. Green blinky light. Goes to a slow green blinky light. Now you hear the engine idle up. That's because I had the engine in high idle. So you got a 2-speed engine selector over here. Grab it, that's going to give you faster speed but lower torque. So just be weary when you're on time for your pavement. You're going to want to put it in turtle. That'll allow you to be a little less jerky. And then this is your even faster speed yet. So click that up when you're driving in a straight line. This thing really books it. We'll show you guys in a minute. So first we're going to show you guys how fast it drives. Engine low idle, track speed low. Alright, now we're going to take the engine up to high idle. to turn the engine off real quick. Just hold down the start button here, turns the engine off so you guys can hear me. You can see how fast this thing drives. It is by far the fastest driving spider lift that we have in our fleet and that we've had come through our shop, which is a massive number of models in the United States. So this thing's really fast if you're driving, if you're working on a golf course or if you're for a park district. This machine would be great for you because it is a faster drive between all the trees with this piece of equipment. The other thing is, if you're trying to get multiple pieces of equipment there, going along with that same type of work, this machine's super light and short, which allows you to put more items onto the trailer for getting to the job site. So, let's fire it up and I'll show you guys how to level the outriggers. So I'm still going to use the wireless controls for this. And go ahead and start it. Flip your key over to the outrigger position. And if you want automatic, you want your switch towards automatic. We're going to go ahead and stand back. So the machine's level. Now, I just want to show you guys, turn the engine off so we can all hear each other. You can use any one of the joysticks for automatic leveling, any of these four. That's what they're there for. Runs the outriggers up and down. And then they got a picture here, shows you which outrigger is which. So if you need to lower just one, this one is 1. On the side of the leg, corresponding number to which joystick you're going to operate. So I'm going to raise the outriggers up, we'll switch it into manual, and then I'll show you guys how to place an outrigger individually. If you're on a side slope, anything where you think is a little bit dangerous to drive this really expensive piece of equipment across that traversing area, because this thing will climb just about anything, always put the outriggers out on the low side. Keep them close to the ground. If the machine starts to tip, you want to catch the outriggers as soon as possible and not roll completely onto its side. That's with any model machine. If you have the room, these things are expensive. You can't always get parts right away. Put the outriggers out. Your boss will be way happier with you. Or if you own it, you'll be way happier with yourself. So let's fire it up and then we'll show you the manuals. So to raise the outriggers, I'm just going to hit the joystick. You can see the outriggers are up. Flip the switch over manual. Now my outriggers are controlled individually. You can see, again, number 1, outrigger number 1. I'm going to put it back to auto. We'll show you guys how high up in the air it'll go on the outriggers. Alright, so now you can see we're level. Green means go. Green lights are on. Aerial functions will operate. Green lights on. On this machine, this is the TZX 30. Your control for operating function, this is like your dead man. So in order to raise or lower, do any function with the wireless remote, you're going to have to hold 1. And then you can see it'll control all the other functions. Oh, just got a little snow in there, Eric. opposite side. Again, this is a cool feature. With the machine in narrow, you can do this, rotate it around. Right now they're in wide because we're going to show you guys how much side reach it has, but definitely nice when you only have one way in, one way out. You can run two functions at once, don't lose much function speed, but it's nice for positioning. Show you guys real quick the way the lower boom arm works. Once you get it vertical, that function's just going to keep raising the boom, and then it'll start to extend out. So that far left joystick is going to raise, and then it'll start to extend automatically once you get in the vertical position. Because of the way this boom works, something to keep in mind, the further you go up, the less you're going to have side reach wise. So this is about your maximum side reach point, because that boom's got a back set angle to it. So you hear the beep, that means it's all the way out. It kind of gives you an idea from the ground of what the side reach looks like. Again, it's a little over 38 feet, almost 39 feet to the outside of the basket, measured at approximately this point. All right, now one of our questions that we get from a lot of people is, this seems really complicated and it's going to be super hard to stow, and it's great that you made a video, but honestly I hate that I have to keep going back to it. So everything on this machine, as we've shown you already, is pretty easy to operate, but it does have a home function, which is pretty cool. We have the machine in this position to explain why a home function might be a bad idea for you. If you have obstructions like we have a genie lift here, you don't want to use the home function necessarily unless it's going to clear everything, because the machine is basically going to run on its own. So it's going to suck itself in, collapse itself down, rotate around. And if you had to do those functions in a specific order to get to where you got to do work, well, you're probably going to hit something. So, but we're going to show you guys anyway, because that's what we do. Dead man switch, home button. Centering the machine, but you can see it operates slower, so you can run more functions and collapse the machine faster and avoid hitting anything. Or just use the home function when you get closer to the ground to make sure A lot of people ask about our videos and say, Dave, why don't you just speed up when it's rotating back? Well, the answer is because then you don't get to see how fast it rotates back. This machine's super stable in the air, even with the tiny footprint that it sits in. The slowest function on any machine is always turntable rotate. Everybody wants to know how fast it is. It's slow, but it's also slow in that boom, and that boom. There is no fast on the turntable rotate. Never as fast as anybody wants, at least it seems. So now that I have it mostly stowed, I'll show you guys how the home function works. Fire it up, and again, hold the home and your dead man switch. Spider lifts, the Palazanni is equipped with ground contact sensors, so it knows when the outriggers are up. Once the outriggers are up, you can flip it to drive, reposition the machine. But I'm going to raise them up so they're out of the way. So now we have the machine stowed. We can flip the outriggers in if we need to, take it to the truck, transport it. When you go to load it onto the truck, a lot of people have issues with their steep incline trailers, especially someone who has higher capacity axles on their trailer, or if you're running dualies on your trailer, you're gonna have a higher clearance that you need to get in order to get onto the thing. The nice thing about this machine is you can actually raise that arm up a little bit so that you have the space under there. So I'll show you guys how to do that. Turn the machine on. So you can see right now we're being track drive, so you can drive the machine. Let's say I need to raise up a little bit. Oh, sorry, Hurley. I'm gonna make you chase the machine all the way past it, if that's alright. Flip it to your boom functions. Gotta hold your dead man, just like if you're running the controls with the outriggers down, and you can raise the boom up. Now switch the key back to track drive. So we're on turret, now we're gonna go to track drive. And with the boom arm raised, now I can drive it to get it on my trailer. Or climb onto a hill, or down some stairs, or up some stairs, whatever you're doing. Or if you have an issue where the boom arm extends out a little bit, or maybe your guy in the air didn't stow it all the way, you can also retract the boom. So same thing, if you need to retract it, you'll hear the engine load up, but it's already in. Hold the dead man. Oh, I'm in drive. Switch it back to turret functions first, unless you're an idiot on YouTube. Go ahead and retract it. And you hear the engine load up. That's retracting the boom in. So if it slides out during transport or you didn't stow it, get it back in. Same thing, now I'm gonna bring it back down because I'm on the trailer or I'm on the hill. Just lower the boom arm back into the cradle. There we go. Flip it back to track drive. You're ready to drive around in the truck. Now Eric's going to fill me climbing into this basket. Come on up. Yeah, that's right. You're far more agile than me. You can do it while you're holding the camera. So I just wanted to show you guys the basket controls. Hopefully you can see everything past my hands. Everything's nice big levers, easy to operate, proportional controls. Put your foot on the foot pedal, fire it up, run every function. It's real smooth. Our favorite thing about the Palazannis by far is both the TZX and the TSJ series are just super stable in the air, even with two guys in the basket. Of course, they'd have to be someone skinnier than me though. So just want to show you guys the controls, and then a couple other things down here. Lanyard anchorages again. Always make sure you wear your fall arrest and safety gear, and make sure that lanyard is within usable height range. So if you are going to be operating this at low heights on a consistent basis, use a static lanyard or a retractable, not one that stretches to 10 feet, because it's not going to catch you. All right, let's get this thing loaded on the truck. Oh. Dry pavement test? Let's go dry pavement test. Alright, let's see what you do. This is high speed on dry asphalt. No turn. No surprise there. Alright, turning the high speed off. Let's see. Oh, she'll dance. All right. All right, let's drop the bed and drive around. You guys picked this up for one of our rental units. Just show you real quick how to use our trailer. Pull the pin out, lift the lever, gravity tilt down. You need to control how fast or slow it moves. People always ask us for the brand of our trailer. This is a Moritz brand trailer, the ELH-GT series. Has an exterior beam construction, real heavy built trailer. One thing we tell everybody, always opt for stronger axles, get those thicker sidewall tires, buy a spare, and most importantly, get an electric hydraulic jack. This is probably our most loved thing about all of our trailers. Then we got our solar charger on here. That just makes sure your battery's always full so it never gets stuck on or off of your vehicle. And then all our trailers come with a panel hitch. If you guys do want to buy one of these trailers, we don't sell trailers, we sell lifts, that's all we do. But you can always go to our friends at the Equipment down in Beecher. They're one town south of us. Give Nate a call down there, they'll get you taken care of. Let's drive this bad boy on, huh? So now you guys are going to see why this feature is so handy that Palazanni built. You can ahead and raise that arm up. Alright, so we're going to turn the machine off. Turn off your e-stop on your remote. Turn off your key. Turn your start key switch off. Turn off the battery disconnect. Don't forget to cover it to keep out the weather if you're going to be storing it outside. That's it. Alright. So, we'll grab some straps and we'll strap her down real quick. So for transport, we go outbound with the straps on this. That means all the straps go away from the machine to the four corners. Now we're going to show you guys our secret to how we tie up our loose ends on the straps. Pull the trigger, move the handle up. Grab the end of your strap, make a loop, and we're just going to loop it up. Okay. And you have your loop sitting in a bundle. Stick it through the handle. Pull the part you just pulled through the handle down through the other loop. Click it into place. Now you guys all know our trick again. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you guys with sitting here with 3 more ratchet straps. We obviously have the machine loaded onto the truck. Thanks for watching our video. If you want to find us on the internet, that's wellbuiltequipment.com. Check us out on Facebook at Aerial Lift Repairs. If you're looking for our friends at Spimerica, S-P-I, America, blue, red, white. You guys can see the colors, makes sense. Or you can find them at Spimerica, also on Facebook. Thanks again for checking us out. Stay safe.